Hey, it's Annie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to share a couple of different ways to create an eye look. So I'm not going to go crazy with different colors. I'm going to keep it neutral, which I usually do anyway. But I wanted to share a couple different techniques that I didn't share in my Makeup for Mature Women series. If you didn't see that, I will link the videos below. I am going to apply my eye makeup primer, my eyeshadow primer, not my eye makeup primer. While I'm doing this, I'm just going to explain in case you're new here and you don't know what this is for. You want to use either an eye primer like this, and this one is from Trish McEvoy, or you can use a concealer, you can use a foundation. As you can see, I don't have any foundation or anything on. We'll talk about that in a second. But you want to use something on your eye to prep it for your eyeshadow. A concealer and a foundation doesn't work for me because what ends up happening is it ends up creasing on me, so it just doesn't work. But you see the difference already in this eye, in this eye. One of the reasons that I use an eye primer is it just helps to diminish the look of any veining or redness in my eyes, because if I just slap an eyeshadow on that, you're gonna see that still. So I want a really nice, clean, smooth canvas. Another reason that I use an eye primer is because it helps to keep my shadow on longer. It prevents it from creasing, and I actually use less eyeshadow because it adheres to my eye better than if I have nothing there at all. It kind of helps grip the eyeshadow. So that's why I use an eye primer. But like I said, you don't have to use a eye primer. You can use a foundation or a concealer if it works for you. It doesn't work for me, that's why I use this one. You have to find one that works for you. I love this one. I've been using this one for several months now at least, and I really love it. But I've used some in the past that were okay. Some of them helped to keep my shadow on, but it really didn't cover my eyes like this stuff. I just love this. I'm just making sure I saw a little part that wasn't blended. Just make sure that you blend it really well if you use this. You don't have to use a lot, and do one eye at a time. First technique that I'm going to show you is the tape technique, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before, but I'm not just going to show you the technique, but I'm going to show you some tips on how to fix things if it doesn't work out for you, okay? So the tape technique, what this is going to do is it's going to create that nice line there, so you can get that lifted look here on the corner without just using a brush. I know it's difficult for some of you, especially with aging hooded eyes. Sometimes it's hard to get in there with just a brush. Although I am going to show you a technique to using a brush. I'm going to show you some different brushes that you can use to achieve this too if you don't want to do the tape. So you just want to use just regular Scotch tape or transparent tape package, you know, package tape, not for packaging up a box, okay? Just something like this. You don't want it to be super sticky or anything like that, because you don't want it to rip your skin off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up. And here, I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit. I know somebody had mentioned on my last video that they didn't see as well. The problem with me zooming in too much is I need to use a magnified mirror. So if I'm close, then you might only see this. So I'll have to watch the way I do it because I wear readers. So to really see close up, I need a magnified mirror. But I'm going to get you closer. I'm going to take this tape and I'm going to kind of line it with the end of my eye right here and up on a diagonal. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to go in with the eyeshadow. So this is one of the reasons why I don't have foundation on, because if I had foundation up, this would just mess up my makeup. So I usually don't do this, but I just thought it would be a good tip and trick to show you guys. So the first thing that I'm going to still go in and do is I am going to go in with my crease. So I'm going to use Lisa J's brush. This is the number 202 brush. So when you are using brushes to do your eyes, you want to get something that is like this for a crease brush. See how it's nice and pointed? This is perfect for getting right here in your crease. See how nice it is? And it blends. So I still like to use a separate brush for blending still, but this can do both. But I like to blend. I really want my shadow to be blended. So this brush again is her brush, and this is the number 201. So this is BK Beauty 201, just a fluffy brush. The first thing I want to do is I want to clean my brush off. This is a color switch. I know a lot of you guys were asking me about this. I got this one at Sephora several years ago, and basically what it is a tin with foam in it. You could probably even make it yourself. But I've had this for, oh my goodness, at least 3 years. And you could even use a towel. You don't even have to do this. You can just have an old towel. I always have a towel with me. So you could even wipe your brush off on a towel. This is a little bit better job, and the nice thing I like about this, I can travel with it. So I'm just giving you some different options, but that is where I got it. I got mine at Sephora. So I just want to wipe my brush off. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go in with, I'm going to go in with the same palette too. This is that MAC palette, and today I think I'm going to go on this side. So I'm going to use this color right here as my transition color. And it's not about the palette. I'm just showing you what I'm using. Use what you already have at home. So you always want to tap off your brush. You always want to do that. If you don't, you're going to have a lot of fallout. And even when I tap my brush off, depending on the shadow, sometimes I still have fallout. So I'm going to go in first here and always relax my eye. Remember what I told you, if you go like this and you're putting your shadow right there, when you relax your eye, you're never going to see the color. Because we have those aging, sagging eyes, we have to start up way up high. We're not going to go all the way to our brow, but we definitely want to bring it up higher so we can see our shadow. And I'm just going back and forth with it. Just like that. Now using this same brush, I'm going to go in, I'm just wiping my brush off again. I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this color right here. I'm going to take my brush and then I'm going to tap it off. And now I'm going to close my eye, I'm going to put it right here. So I'm right where that tape is. So what that tape is going to do is it's going to be a guide. So if you were doing your eyeshadow before, maybe using a brush, it was kind of difficult for you, this is going to keep it right in line so you're not going all the way up there and making a mess by your eyes. So you just go right in here, going back and forth with the color. I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to do a little bit of this color here, that brown color, just a little bit. Just want to deepen it just a little bit more in that same area. And I'm going to wipe my brush off and I'm going to blend. And I'm blending a little bit of that into the top part. So I'm not adding any of that color. I'm just blending a little bit of that up there. Now I'm going to go and I want to take my separate blending brush and now I'm going to blend it even more. Really take the time to blend because you don't want to see an outline of where you put your shadow. Okay, so now I'm going to take this off. And you see how I've got that line? Now, we don't want that harsh of a line. That's kind of extreme, so we need to blend that still. So I'm going to take my brush, that same brush I was using to blend, and we're going to blend that out. And you want to stretch your eye a little bit too. Keep it in that same area, but just blend it. Now, if you're blending, you're like, ooh, I still see that line. It's really looks too much of a line. Then you can do a couple things. One thing you can do is take that crease brush, go in a little bit with this color here, close your eye and just really lightly go right on top of it and blend it in. See how it's starting to soften up already? You're not seeing that really harsh line. And another thing that you can do if you still feel like it still looks harsh, you can go ahead and you can take either, and I prefer to use a pressed powder. You can either take a finishing powder or you can take a setting powder. So I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever powder. I'm just gonna use my fluffy brush. I'm just gonna put it in here and I'm just gonna go right on the edge here and just blend it. So see how it took that harsh line out of there? Really, really easy to do. I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is the BK number 203. It's slightly rounded brush. This is a really good brush to use right here on your eyelid. So I'm gonna go in and I like to brighten up my eye a little bit, and I'm going to use this color right here. Now one thing, and I will share this on another video, a couple videos that I have coming up. One video I want to share is how to put colors together. So if you have a palette, you don't know what color goes where, I'm going to share a video on that. And I'm also going to talk about shimmers. Should you use them? If you use them, where do you use them on your eye? Amateur eyes. I am going to share a video on both of those really soon. So I like to put a little bit of a shimmer right here because I feel like it brightens up my eye. Now I want to go in with that same first crease brush. And again, I just want to go in here and I'm going to go back and take a little bit of that color right there. Just want to go up a little bit higher with it. I still have to do underneath my eyes, but I'm not going to do that until I do the rest of my makeup because I'm going to mess it up with my concealer. So let's go to the other eye. There's a couple different ways that you can do the same look without doing the tape. So let me show you a couple different brushes that can be options for you. One is you can use this. Now this is actually a crease brush. This is a small tapered blending brush E45, which this is not a good blending brush for me. Do you see the difference between this blending brush and this one? This is just not enough for me. Because it is nice and pointy though, it can work really good on the outside part. So I'm not gonna apply the color because I'm gonna apply it with my favorite brush to use right now for this, but I'm gonna show you so you get the idea. So what you wanna do is you wanna dip the color, the same color that I used, which was this color right here, after you do your crease. So go ahead here, let's just do our crease. Let's just do our crease. So I'm gonna go in and do the same color for my crease. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do my crease color like I normally would do. And I'm gonna blend it out. I'm gonna pretend I'm using this. So I would take that color, I bring it in, I would bring it up like this and here. Do you see how that works perfectly if I get in there to put the color? So you just hold it back like this. The pointy, see how the point goes right at the end of where my lash line is? Up and over, just like this, kind of like you're making a V, like that. Another way that you can do it is almost like stamping it on. So this brush is the Luxie 150 flat angled blender. So this is again like a blending brush. But what I like about this is it just makes it really easy to apply. Hopefully it's focusing in. This makes it really, really easy to apply. And the reason is all you have to do is just put your color on it like that. Then you want to hold it. See how this end is higher and that end is lower? You just put it right here and basically stamp it on where you want it. And then you take your blending brush and then you can blend it in. That's another way you can do it. Another brush that you can use is again from Luxie. This brush is kind of dirty, but the end is dirty. Sorry about that. But this is the number 207. See how it's fluffy, but it has that angle on it. So again, what you can do is take that darker color. You can do it this way where it's pointed up and just go like that, or you could do it this way, which I would prefer to do it this way. So you just take it and you just place the color right here, kind of pounce it on there a little bit, and then blend it in. But it just makes it easy because of the angle of the brush. So the brush that I've been using lately that I love, because it's not too big, it's not too small, and you can see it's very similar. So this is the BK number 205. And see the difference between the two brushes? This one's a little bit fluffier, this one's a little bit smaller. This one you'll get a little bit more control with than this one. I still love this brush, but if you're someone that is still kind of getting the gist of getting into makeup and doing your eyes, this is a really, really nice brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this color right here, tap it off, and now with the higher end this way, the lower end down, I'm gonna take this, see what I'm doing? I'm kind of pushing it in. You don't want to bring it out, you want to bring it in. Just a little bit on the end there. And this eye is more hooded. And so I definitely have to stretch my eye. I can't do this because it's not going to go on right. And if you have to, you could even slightly stretch your eye a little bit with your finger, just slightly. And put it right in that little area. Right there. See how my skin sags? I really have to work it in there. I'm going to take a little bit more shadow. Again, tap it off. Again, right here. Just keeping it in this area. I'm not bringing it up there. I'm not bringing it in here. I'm keeping it right in that area. See that? Now I'm going to take my blending brush, just going to wipe it off, and we're going to blend it. I'm just going to do circular motions in this area. Then I'm going to bring it up here a little bit. So I don't want to bring it out there. I'm just right here. Now I've got a little bit outside there, but I still have to do that might not even be shadow actually. That might just be my discoloration on my skin because I don't have my foundation yet on, but I'm just blending that in. I always feel like my eyeshadow doesn't look as nice when I don't have my foundation on, because I usually always put my foundation on first. So normally if I was doing this eye this way, I would have my foundation on. But some people don't like to put their foundation on first because I feel like if they get fallout, they can clean it up, which is totally true. I just like to put my foundation on first, but you do whatever works for you. So again, I'm just blending it still. See what I'm doing? Just blending it. And I'm even blending it with the top here. Really, I know I say this all the time, but really take the time to blend. Now I'm not going to worry about anything here because like I said, I still have to do my foundation, so we're not going to worry about that. And now I'm just going to go in and do the same thing. I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to take this light shadow right here, and I'm putting it right on my lid. This is my final look. I can't really tell the difference between either eye. Can you guys see the difference between that eye and that eye? I really can't tell the difference, but just two different techniques. So the key is to either use the right brushes or to use the tape method like I shared with you. But if you do the tape method, just make sure that you are first not wearing any makeup, because otherwise foundation, you don't want to have any foundation on. And then make sure you really, really take the time to blend. Or you can use one of these brushes. I will put the links below with all these. And with Lisa's brushes, she did give me a code for you guys to get 10% off. So I get nothing for it. It's just a code for you guys to use, but I make nothing on it. You guys know I'm always upfront with you guys. If I get, any commission from anything, I will let you know, and I get zip from it. But you do save 10%. And I love the brushes. You've seen the review that I shared. I've been using her brushes every day. exclusively. I'm sure that I'm going to eventually go back to my Sigma brushes because I still love those. I still love my Real Technique brushes too. There's brushes there. I don't think I have any eyeshadow brushes though from Real Techniques, mostly face brushes that I use of theirs. But anyways, brushes are really, really important. So these are the 3 that I would recommend trying. Are these the only 3, right? Just want to make sure. Yeah. So these are the 3 that I have that I would recommend you look into. I'm just showing you so you can see what they look like again. But I will leave, as I said, links below for all of them so you can check them out. They all work a little bit differently. Eye brushes are tools, and it really depends on the feel that, you know, is comfortable for you. Out of all of the brushes, I would say this one from BK Beauty is my favorite. My second would probably be the one from Sigma, and this one from, actually it's a tie between these 2 from the Luxie brushes. So those are my picks. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really hope that this was helpful and informative for you guys. I'm going to be sharing more eye tutorials. As I said, I'm going to be doing a video talking about eye palettes. So if you get an eye palette and you're not sure what colors to use, where can you use a shimmer? Where can you use a shimmer? What kind of shimmers? We're going to talk about that in future videos, so stay tuned. And that is it. Thank you again so much. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you click that button below. Hit the subscribe button. I share new videos every single week. Make sure you click that notification bell too. Anytime I share a new video, you'll be notified. Always make sure that you comment, share. If you like the video, which I hope that you do like it, all that interaction keeps you subscribed to the channel. Otherwise, YouTube thinks you're spam and they will unsubscribe you. It's happened to me. It's happened to some of my subscribers that have told me I haven't seen you in so long because I unsubscribed them. So please make sure you're active on my channel. And thank you guys so much. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.